my most memorable teaching was I was a substitute teacher in a junior high school, and I was substituting for band. And I realized at the end of that day that substitute teaching is a contact sport, and students keep score. And there was 6 classes that day. The students won 4, we tied on 1, and I won 1. And I felt very virtuous that the last class at that day was the youngest band. And I was just a substitute. You go in, play a movie, keep the kids from fighting, and then go home at the end of the day. But, I love music, and I've always wanted to conduct the band. So I said I should conduct the band. The students came in, and I said, get your instruments out. And they said, well, we left our instruments at home. To show you how naive I was, I believed them. And so I started to play the movie, but the movie jammed. And I said, gosh, we can't play the movie because the VHS player jammed. And one of the young girls said, well, we could practice. I said, well, you've left your instruments at home. And she said, yes, but they were lying. And I got really upset. I said, what do you mean you're lying? Get your instruments out. So they all looked sheepish. They got their instruments out. And we sat around, and as a band does. They sit in a half circle, and I'm standing up at the front conducting with great aplomb and absolutely no talent. And I said, everybody play middle C. Well, what I didn't know, because I was stupid, is that instruments are tuned, and middle C on one instrument is not the same as middle C on another instrument. And it was cacophonous. It was awful. It was horrific. And I'm sitting there saying, what did I do? I said, all right, let's try something. Let's grab your first piece of music. It was intro band. These kids could barely blow a note. But I said, let's just run through the piece. And the kids got into it, and we started to have a good time. And by the end of the class, we had run through every piece in the repertoire twice. It got better each time, and the kids were sounding great, really great. As the bell rang at the end, I said, I've taught 6 classes today, 6 classes. And you absolutely sounded the best of all the classes I taught. And he said, but we're just the beginners. I said, doesn't matter. Even as a beginner, you can sound great. And they walked out of there feeling like they'd been given a gold star and 2 attaboys on the back.